2008, 2009, I moved here from Hawaii. When I started working here and I actually get to fish with the rods, I was stoked with it. I was like, yeah, I like working for a company that makes something that top notch, like you can brag about, you know? We got Kevin here. He's dipping some multi-piece. It has a lot to do with bubbles, has a lot to do with the surface of the paint and not getting any debris in the paint. And he'll carefully hang them on these hooks. These hooks are spinning. That's what allow them to dry, flash dry better. A lot of small things, you'll see that a lot in the factory. A lot of small things that we do that make a huge difference. And in here, it's full of small things. And you have to do all the small things perfectly for it to come out perfect. The millions of rods, I want to say millions, that I've actually touched and inspected that actually somebody's going to go out there and fish with. All the fish they're going to catch. And, it's crazy to think about, but I love it. I love it.
My name's Doug Peacher. I'm team leader of handle assembly. It's a good place to work for. I get up in the morning, have my breakfast, make my lunch, and by 5:30 I'm in this store getting the handle assembly ready for whatever needs to be done, making sure that the people that are going to be coming into work have something to do and that everything's working right so they don't have to mess around and just come to work and get the job done. So after trimming and spining the rod over there, he comes over here and on that sheet of paper it tells him what flex to go for, so he knows that when he passes that rod on, it shouldn't break after this point. That way the customer is getting a good part. Once he's done that, again, Ed will make another MO so the rod can be reamed and then glued. 1 year led into almost 40 years now. This company has been my life. I mean, 40 years. Yeah, I get a little emotional, but you know, it's tough. I've worked a long time, and the bottom line here is, when I leave here, I hope I leave knowing that these people out here have the knowledge they need to carry on.
I started here 27 years ago. I've had a lot of titles since I've been here. I've worked my way up from the bottom, but now I'm like a process engineer. And at the time I started here, it took us like 35 days to get a rod through here. And we're up to maybe 4 days we can get a rod all the way through the factory now because we don't have the whip, we don't have the scrap, we don't have other problems. At this point, he is getting his sticker on the rod that identifies that rod at all times, so that way your warranty will be covered, things like that. So it's very important to get that sticker and get it on the rod to match it. This laser lineup machine is quite good because you can see the guided light that goes right down the middle of the rod. There's no getting it wrong. You always start with the logo on the rod, and that's what she's doing. She's putting her epoxy on the logo. This is where the magic goes on the rod. Gives it that glossy finish, nice and tight. It holds all the threads down. When I first started here, everybody would just pick up a brush and put finish on a rod. Now we are to the point where everybody does it alike. So every rod looks like the last rod you made. This rod is going to be finished and it's going to go on for a couple hours. and then it can be removed. Now our rods are going to an inspection. At this point, as you can see, each rod has a tag that identifies who finished that rod, so they get credit for how many they did and any mistakes they might have made. As you can see, the rod now is at inspection, is laying on the table, and Michelle's going to start from the butt cork, the reel seat, the cork, everything. She's going to look at that rod like a microscope. Everything is perfect before it leaves her hand. I love what we build. Any of these rods, you take this rod here, it's picked up 100 times before it even makes to packaging. So it is hard to explain to somebody that doesn't know anything about rods that it starts with a sheet of graphite. Everything that goes into it is unreal. If you've never seen it, it's worth watching sometime.
It's been a lot of research with this new team. This is a team that's very calculated in a way that everything that they do is very intentional. They're very intelligent, very small group of individuals. We took this pool of talent, has arrived, and their approach to problem solving is totally different. It's not just us here in the factory, but it's also all of our Loomis athletes that are out helping us to steer us in the right direction while applying all this technology.